education stops at what, 18, 19 years old? I guess 21 if you go to university.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more growing up to do.
Yeah.
I thought my parents knew everything, and then I became a parent. I'm like, oh, you were figuring it out too? Oh, I wasn't the most behaved.
Yeah.
Okay, you had to understand me, how to understand the best way to parent me, or the best way I would react to certain situations. Like for me, I'm a logical guy. No, you're bad. Some people you can't say no, you're bad to. You have to like, well,
Yeah.
this is why we don't do this, and you have to like approach it from a different way, right? So why would mental health be any different? Could you imagine a
It's
world
just,
where you had to be a tough guy when you're not feeling like a tough guy?
yeah,
Doesn't make any sense. And our generation's a little easier. Like I feel bad for the baby boomers, like my dad. Like that's not allowed.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's
It's not allowed. And the wife's support of that is like, they're supposed to be like, they're normally like, hey, like you're supposed to be the tough guy. You're
yeah,
supposed to be this. You can't be going through shit. Like
yes,
you're not really going through shit. Like
right,
you'll be, you're good.
yeah.
You'll carry us.
Man up.
So yeah. So like, that's been like the biggest curve that I've seen in the last 2
Yeah,
years in society, is that like women are realizing that like, hey, you guys are dealing with a lot, and there for sure there's a lot of
yeah,
abuse like from male partners and stuff like that. But like, there's a reason that that stuff is happening in a sense, and
yeah.
like there needs to be a male support system. So a ton of females have started getting behind the last 2 years,
Love it.
men's mental health, and that's been one of the bigger stepping stones, I believe. So curious, with you going through what you ended up going through, how was your dad for support with that, or were you able to go to your dad for support with that, or like
Yeah,
how did that relationship
good
work,
question.
or did you keep it completely separate and you
I,
kept?
I can tell you. So my dad wears his heart on his sleeve, and if I can, he would be. So how do I say this in the nicest way possible? If I came to my dad with a problem, he would be the best parent in the entire world. It, it's tough to explain. He's not a type of guy that will go out of his way to be the best parent in the world. But if you ever needed him, he'd kill. He would literally kill someone. And again, sounds a little overbearing. I get it, but like I do think he would. Like I really do. So my point to that is I didn't reach out to him, and I look back now, and I think he actually went through a lot of this stuff. My parents were divorced. It was not a good divorce. It was it was a terrible divorce, and it affected both my sister and I, which I think made us better people in the long run. We learned, but nobody was there to, including me, because he's always there for me. No one was there for him to ask how he was doing. To answer your question, I didn't reach out to him. I didn't reach out to him because I didn't know it was okay to reach out to him. I reached out. I didn't know where I was in life. I thought I was trying to. I was in a undertow, and I was the only one out there. And I just went back to shore. So
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a lifeline. I didn't even know there was a lifeline. I didn't even know there's people out there that were feeling the same way as me when I was going through what I went through. That's why the compliment to what you're doing is. So I didn't reach out to him. Truth is, if I had to have, and in hindsight, I should have, because I think we probably would have had a tighter relationship. Because there is definitely times that he went through some stuff that.
Have you had a conversation since, like now that you've gone through
Hmm,
it and such,
great.
and kind of been like, hey dad, like
Yeah.
I kind of get where you were
Yeah.
years ago. I've been there, I think.
Yes and no. And thank this. I might give him a call after this fucking show now. Thanks. So we had it out when he moved to Passaic Beach, and I was not done high school. If I had to explain who I was, you ever watched American Pie? The guy that wants to get all his friends laid? That was me. So you can imagine that guy being ripped out of the high school and started a new high school for like the 11 and 12. Like I was angry with him, right? But he did it for his own financial reasons and stuff like that, which I honestly understand now, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. But he tried to open up to me just recently about it, because I think it bothered him. I think to this day it bothered him because it changed. It definitely changed our relationship.
He knew it hurt you.
Yeah, it for sure.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jamie, but I might have shrugged it off and said, "No, I'm good, thanks. Like I'm happy with who I am, and happy with my life, happy with my kids." And I meant it. I meant it like don't don't worry about the past. But I think he wanted to bury the hatchet on something. Okay, so now I owe him a phone call. Thanks,
Because
thanks, thanks,
it's probably gonna
thanks.
help him,
Shit, my dad taught me.
right?
Thanks. Yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
his guy. Like
yeah, yeah.
you're his outscape for that.
I think you nailed it. So out of your 12 businesses, are you a therapist? Like, just out of curiosity, is that a thing? You nailed, like, as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I owe him a phone call because he did open up to me and we did have that chat. And I definitely shrugged it off because I am very happy with who I am and what I've done. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. So
For sure.
I didn't want to dwell or give him a hard time. I meant it in the most positive way, but I think he was trying to um, carry the hatchet on some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
You
So,
should do it, man.
Yeah.
Life's short.
okay.
Especially when the doors open like that, man. I've had a few talks with my dad that were along that because, of course, like, you know, you got to remember that the way we are right now, the age we're at, the things we think, what we're trying to accomplish, our dads did the same thing. Might have looked different, moved different time, but like the same thing, right? So you can empathize a little bit. You can say like, hey, man, you did that move for financial reasons, personal reasons.
And he did. I mean, looking back, he did.
So then
Just imagine that bro hug you have with a buddy, and as soon as you're done that bro hug, your shoulders drop. Like imagine
With
that,
your dad.
that chat with your dad, like
Yeah.
what
Do
you're gonna, what you and him will both feel like when you walk away from
Alright,
that
so-
conversation. Like that puts you guys at next level.
I don't appreciate you calling me out here. Give me a big Dr. Jones moment. I mean, I do appreciate it, but well done on your second or third podcast. Well done.
Like our third episode, we have Dr. Phil coming on. We're
Yeah.
actually going to teach him a few things.
Yeah.